Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome to the show. Tonight we have a good one here. It is North Wilkesboro with the Friday night 802 Busch Series. Here tonight, I believe we're already up to right around race number 16, if you can believe that, on the season here. As tonight we are into qualifying here, so we'll see where drivers will stack on up. Right now, with the quick time here in qualifying, looks like it is Dustin Coggin in that 46 machine, finding the pace here. We're taking a look at George Ledsma here in the 67. Ledsma will go faster on lap number 2. His best time of 19.60. That put him right around in the 8th position here currently. Johnny Barker here will jump to P number 5, but it looks like got loose there in 1 and 2. Gonna call it a day there. Brandon Guerin now on his second time lap here in the 1 car. Guerin, I'm pretty sure, had 0 practice laps here, so the 1 car right out of the box straight to qualifying. We'll see if he can improve here on lap number 2. Looks like yes, he will. A 19.39. That will definitely put him in the ballpark. But like I said, right now it is the 46 machine of Dustin Coggin with the quick time. As we now take a look at the 80 machine of Logan Cougar. Cougar, of course, coming into tonight, coming in heat number 2 in points. Was able to make up some points on Cody Gibson there the past couple weeks. We'll see if that is the case here tonight. As off of turn number 4 for the final time here in qualifying for the 80 machine. Looks like Cougar will go to P number 3, lap number 1. I was mistaken. This is his final lap now as he goes down the backstretch for the final time. It does seem like lap number 2 could have some speed. A great first lap from the 80 machine as Cougar will cross the stripe for the final time. Won't have the pace there. Lap number 2, a 19.38 for the 80 machine, but will start on the inside of row number 2. So a great starting spot for Logan there. As it looks like only 1 car not taking a time so far. That'll be the 25 machine of Ron Holyfield.
Yeah, that's pretty tough.
As it looks like that will pretty much do it here tonight for qualifying. So here, once it's all said and done, it looks like it will be the 46 machine of Dustin Coggin. I have to double check here just to make sure real quick, but I believe Coggin. No pole awards yet this season, so this will make Dustin Coggin's first time with the Riptide Radio pole award here in the Friday Night Busch Series. So congrats to Dustin here, walking away with the Riptide Radio pole award. And of course, we got to shout out Riptide Radio and thank them for everything they do. If you want some of the best beach and boogie music, check out Riptide Radio. And you can find them on with a quick Google search, and they got a nice app these days to make it even easier. So once again, congrats to Dustin. And what do we say? We head down trackside to go through tonight's starting lineup.
I just can't believe how tight the top 4 are.
So So here we go, folks. Tonight's starting lineup will look like the following. Like we just said, Dustin Coggin in the 46 machine, going to lead the field to the green flag. To his outside, the driver that finished runner-up, P number 3 last time we were out here racing. It is the 43 machine of Mike Kelly.
Hey guys,
Then we head back to row number 2. On the inside will be the 80 machine of Logan Cougar. To his outside, the Rocket Man, Steve Ritter in the 61 machine. Cody Gibson, our points leader in the 7 machine, will start P number 5. And to his outside, the 6 car starting P number 6. It is Johnny Barker. Frank Zingen in the 62 machine will roll off 7. Eighth will be the 1 car of Brandon Garrett. Rob Lowell in the 21 machine will start 9th. And George Ledsma will round out the top 10 as Ron Holyfield here tonight not making the call for the show, so we'll have a 10-car shootout here as we get ready to rock and roll. As Dustin Coggin here on the loud pedal. Coggin gonna get a little bit of wheel spin as they dive down into turn number 1. Side by side for the race lead here through turns 1 and 2. And it looks like it will be Mike Kelly gonna take over the point here at the start of this one. Looks like Kelly will lead lap number 1 as Steve Ritter and Cody Gibson still side by side on the racetrack. And North Wilkesboro, definitely not an easy place to run lap after lap. This place demands a decent amount of concentration. Very easy to make a mistake here, but kind of a cool thing here. One of the more racy short tracks on iRacing with 2 lanes that can be run. And we'll see tonight, the top side of 1 and 2 be very, very dominant. You see there Johnny Barker get about a half car advantage over Cody Gibson. But then here in 3 and 4, bottom sides where it's at, you will see Gibson kind of draw back even, dead even at the stripe. And we'll kind of see this cat and mouse game go on the whole race long with guys trying to pick and choose as the dominant lane different on both ends of this track. Rob Lowell, George Ledsma having some trouble here to start the race in this one. Both them down on pit road early. Looks like they will keep it rolling here. But everyone already pretty spread on out for the time being. Frank Zing and Brandon Guerin here kind of in their own pack. And then, of course, we got to go back then to this 3-car battle of Steve Ritter, Cody Gibson, and Johnny Barker. That's for 4th, 5th, and 6th. And then, of course, the top 3 then, Mike Kelly, Dustin Coggin, Logan Cougar here in that first 3-car pack here. So everyone kind of falling into whatever rhythm they deem is the right pace here, because especially here, we got the older version of North Wilkesboro before the reconfiguration, repave of that place. So this place can wear up and kind of spit out some tires here as Cody Gibson big time sideways there into turn number 1. We'll jam on the binders, keep that car from going around. We'll lose only 1 spot, but a great heads up driving there by Johnny Barker in the 6 machine not to get into the sideways 7 there. And Cody Gibson, a great save with that one. Looks like George Ledsma able to get back out there on the speedway. Looks like going to be about 5 laps down, so going to be a pretty tall mountain to try and overcome to get back into contention in this one. As already we have the first 10 laps clicked on, done, and over with in this one. Out in front, though, Mike Kelly leading the way. And I tell you what, Mike Kelly's been on a pretty good hot streak. Like I said, last time we were out here on the racetrack was up on the podium, P number 3. Week before that at Darlington was down in victory lane. Talladega, always a little bit of a toss-up, but then we look back further than that. A P number 2 for the 43, a win at Texas. So Mike Kelly knowing how to get things done, but here comes now Logan Cougar. Cougar will take over the point here on the completion of lap number 12. So Logan Cougar going to get that very important bonus point for leading a lap. As coming into tonight, Cougar now only down 14 points from Cody Gibson. And with about, I want to say, 8 races left on the schedule, that could definitely be overcome. So Logan Cougar, I tell you what, would love a win here tonight. That would help big time as he searched for the inaugural 802 Busch Series Championship. Johnny Barker was able to get around Steve Ritter for that 4th position. Now Ritter's starting to feel a little bit of pressure here from the 7 of Cody Gibson. Let's ride on board with Steve Ritter looking on back to the 7 car of Cody Gibson. And we can see here Cody Gibson not too adventurous to get down back to that bottom side in 1 and 2. We saw him almost loop that car around there down on the bottom side. And Gibson already trying different lines. And I tell you what, back in the day, at least as a young kid, I always admired, the likes of Jeff Gordon and drivers like that, always kind of searching around the racetrack. Cody Gibson definitely trying to do that, as we saw last time into 3. Way up on the racetrack that time, wrapping that inside grass there in 3 and 4. And that's what makes this track fun. You can definitely search a lot for that kind of preferred line or whatnot. And I tell you what, Gibson figuring out something on the bottom side of that racetrack now draws within a car length of Steve Ritter here. As we get side-by-side racing here for a split second there into turn number 1, but already 20 laps done into this one here tonight. As it looks like maybe might not have car sounds here, so we're going to go a quick break for a split second here under green flag racing right now. No real battles for position, but we're going to go once this battle cools on off for a second, as we see Dustin Coggin let the 6 car of Johnny Barker get on by. As we quickly try and play with our sound settings, gotta always love some Windows updates. So we'll be right back here from North Wilkesboro. Alright, we are back here at North Wilkesboro. Got that sound turned on up and sounding right hopefully here tonight, as yeah, we didn't miss anything out there on the Speedway standings. Still looking the same as a few laps ago. Mike Kelly back to the point though, was able to get around Logan Cougar in those last 5 laps. So the 43 machine back to the point. Cougar right on the back bumper there. Like I said before, then Johnny Barker now up into the top 3. Dustin Coggin here starting to get reeled in quite a bit by Steve Ritter. Ritter starting to turn up the pace, has since walked on away from Cody Gibson. So already here tonight, under laps left in this one. Already down to double digits laps to go here. As laps quickly flying on by in this one. Looks like Rob Wall was able to get back out there on the speedway. So all 20 cars that did, all 10 cars that did take the green flag here tonight are, of course, back out here on the speedway turning laps. Yeah, so far here tonight, Mike Kelly about 25 or so laps led in this one. Only other race leader so far here tonight has been Logan Cougar. As we take a look here at this battle, Dustin Coggin started on the pole, was able to get his first Riptide Radio pole award here in the Busch Series, and has since kind of dropped off a little bit in position here, but right now his pace on point with the kind of race leaders last time by. Mike Kelly 20.11, whereas Dustin Coggin a 20.18, but maybe Mike Kelly losing the pace just a little bit, because there goes Logan Cougar back to the point, and here comes the 6 car of Johnny Parker. Parker, of course, one of those drivers that always enjoys a long run. Very strong when it comes to managing those tires on that race car. Once again, he is showing that here tonight. Johnny Parker making his way up through the field has been the biggest mover here tonight, trying to get away at P number 2, away from that 43 machine. As Barker not quite clear, but at this end of the speedway, definitely that bottom side is where it's at. Barker should be able to get cleared. Yes, he does. Johnny Barker up to P number 2. I tell you what, it's been a minute since Johnny Barker has been to victory lane. I know that guy is for a win here. What a place it would be to do it at this place. Looking at the stats, I can't quite believe it. Johnny Parker has not won a race yet on the Friday night side of things, so I'd love to kind of change that narrative, add a win here in this one. And of course, that always helps the point situation. Parker, of course, coming in. Looks like P number 6 in points, actually about 29 points behind his teammate Steve Ritter in 5th, so a good finish here tonight for Parker would definitely help him catch his teammate of Steve Ritter just a little bit more in points. Johnny Parker, not that last time, but the lap before was the only car left in the 19-second bracket last time by the top 3, all within a half of a tenth of each other, so they are definitely using each other to try and manage that pace in this one. I think, they could probably go, I want to say right around 70 to 80 laps on fuel. So what I would have to expect is this field, especially if it goes green to the end, hit right around the halfway point, anywhere from lap 60 to 70, and just try and make it a one-stop race. This track is pretty tricky to get on and off pit road. Absolutely no room to really kind of merge safely onto pit road or off. Very little room to get woed on up, so it definitely takes a little bit of coordination to get down pit road, and of course back onto the racing surface, because you kind of see into turn number 1 here, that pit road ends and you're already on the bottom side of turns 1 and 2 as you try and get up to speed. Brandon Guerra and Frank Bingham continue to kind of match each other's pace here in this one. 2 different lines there in turns 1 and 2. Guerra in the 1 car up to the top side, about that 3rd hash marker. So Frank Zingen, of course, down on the bottom side of that racetrack, trying to be below that 1st hash mark. And I tend to usually like that bottom side, especially here in iRacing. Since it's a simulator, all your inputs are really in the wheel and pedals, and usually I like to say the less wheel you have in it, usually the more right front you'll have at the end of a longer run, let's say. Top three here starting to close on up as Logan Kruger starting to get tracked down by Johnny Barker and Mike Kelly here. As Kelly will take a peek to the inside of the 6 car of Johnny Barker. Right on board with Barker here, looking on back to that 43. Taking a peek to the inside. Mike Kelly just couldn't quite get the drive off the corner there to keep the nose to the inside of the 6 car. So that will keep, Mike Kelly at bay for the time being. And with these guys battling just that little bit, that has allowed here Cody Gibson to get a little bit more breathing. Was up to about 2 car lengths, now already back down to 1. As we see the 7 machine of Cody Gibson, he's going to be one of the first cars here to pit road. He's going to go say, you know what, the strategy might be here tonight. Get these tires off this race car as soon as possible. We'll manage the pace from here on out. So I like the alternate strategy call from the 7 machine. Definitely banking on, as Cody Gibson looks like might be tired from the race here, as it looks like that car heading behind the wall, getting pushed there. So Cody Gibson might have yet another kind of tough race here tonight, and that will once again close up that points battle for the inaugural champion in this series that much closer here. As of course P number 2 in points, Logan Kruger, out here with the point here at the completion of lap 46. As we see right here, Cougar, of course, under some heavy pressure here from Johnny Barker and Mike Kelly. Kelly trying to get that high side work, trying to get that momentum rocking and rolling. Barker trying to fill up, especially that A pillar left side mirror. As Cougar drives it in there deep, he gets big time sideways. He will somehow keep that race car under him. A quick trip through the grass. That will maybe hopefully cool off those tires a little bit, because those rears will definitely be hot there with that kind of big time slide of 1 and 2. And that's what this place will do. You carry a lot of speed going into turn number 1 downhill here, so it's going to force a lot of weight on those front tires. And if you have too much rear brake, overdrive it, throw too much weight on those front tires, that back end can start to come around kind of slowly, kind of catch you off guard. That's exactly what we saw from the 80 machine of Cougar. Great job hanging on to it, and he will stay inside the top 5. But now new race leader out in front, Johnny Barker, just put that pressure on, waited for a mistake, and that time got a big mistake by Logan Cougar. And that's what the 6 car wanted, as now Johnny Barker will try and check on out as he is trying to drive away from Mike Kelly. Kelly, though, great run off of turn number 2, but Barker a little bit different style driving here tonight. You kind of see, especially in the interval, Johnny Barker a lot deeper into the corner, will make up time there, whereas Mike Kelly a little bit more timid on entry, really focusing on the corner exit. But right now, both drivers about the same lap time here. So with that kind of cools off things for quite a bit for the time being. We'll have to see if Logan Cougar can get back up on the pace here, shake off that mistake, try and run down Dustin Coggin, as well as keep Steve Ritter at bay. I mean, all these cars within a second of each other on the racetrack. I think right before the halfway point here tonight, folks, we'll do some of my favorite stuff here tonight. A little turn 3, turn it up at a short track. Man, you can't beat that. So I'll take a break from yapping for a minute, get a drink of water, and we'll let the cars do the talking. We'll turn 3, turn it up here tonight at North Wilkesboro. are back here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Remember, this is race number, already if you can believe it, race number 16 of 25 here on the schedule. As Johnny Barker still out front, leading the pace here so far tonight. Mike Kelly in P number 2. Dustin Goggin trying to hang on to P number 3 as Logan Cougar has recaught the 46 machine. Starting to put a lot of pressure here on Goggin. Cougar will take a peek to the inside of the 46 machine. Can't quite put the power down. Gonna drive it in there. Gets sideways again. Logan Cougar for the second time here tonight, sideways in 1 and 2. And that will bring out our first caution of the evening right at the halfway point. So that will at least make the strategy call pretty straightforward for these drivers. Not going to have to worry about green flag pit stops, at least this time on around. And I tell you what, a lot of drivers thanking Logan that, they can get rid of these old tires on their race cars here. As it looks like we already got cars heading down pit road. Frank Zingen going to be the lucky dog here. Zingen just went 1 lap down here, so that'll put the 62 machine back on the lead lap. About 7 of them there. As we take a look here at the end of pit road, we'll see who wins the race off of pit road. It's going to be probably 4 new tires for every single driver, filled up with the virtual Sunoco race fuel. As it looks like Mike Kelly, first one off of pit road. Johnny Barker second, Dustin Coggin third, Steve Ritter fourth. And it looks like Logan Cougar will round out the top 5 here in that one. Mike Kelly here going to be pacing the field back to the green flag. You'll have choice of the inside or the outside. Remember, Kelly started P number 2 on the start, was able to start on the outside lane, get that momentum built up in 1 and 2, and was able to take the race lead. So we'll see if Kelly will do the same, as I believe this time by should be just about 1 to go. Yeah, lights out around the North Wilkesboro Speedway. So next time by, we are going back to green flag racing here, as we'll see the field double on up. So Mike Kelly, Johnny Barker on the front row here of the first restart of the night. About 62 laps completed under green flag here before the first caution. That could mean we could see this go green to the end as Mike Kelly on the loud pedal here. A little bit of wheel spin, but gets a good start here and will lead the field by himself out in front of this one. Dustin Coggin here trying to hang on to P number 3 as Steve Ritter trying to get the high side rocking and rolling in this one. I think Ritter will lose that spot to Logan Cougar as well. So Cougar restarted P number 5. He is trying to get back up to the front. Remember, Cougar has led some laps here tonight already in this one. Cougar will go around Coggin there on the high side in this one. So we click on over 2 laps, 69. Right now, a lot of drivers kind of pushing the pace. Mike Kelly, best lap of anyone so far here tonight that last time by. So drivers may be realizing track position might matter just a little bit, but you don't want to burn these tires off right away here in this one, because there's a really good chance, like we saw, another 60 lap kind of run in front of them. Mike Kelly here leads the point over Johnny Barker. Logan Cougar back up into the podium. Coggin in 4th, Steve 6, and looks like Frank Zingen was able to get the lucky dog, came down on pit road to fill up on fuel and take tires, and with that, the field went green flag, so the 62 actually went one lap down again with the field going back up to, full speed race pace here, so Frank Zingen's going to have to hope for another caution here tonight. That puts about 6 cars on the lead lap, and driver NP number 6, Brandon Guerin, used that probably that first whole stint to kind of learn the track, get his feet under him. Remember that one car had 0 laps of practice. Now Guerin definitely has a better feel of that race car, this racetrack. He is now starting to put a lot of pressure on Steve Ritter for that 5th position. I say let's ride on board with Brandon Guerin as he takes a peek to the inside of Steve Ritter. Ritter's going to be up there, appears right just that off of turn number 4, so that is kind of how tough, especially with a single monitor. It can be very tough to see a goal. You saw Ritter there get loose. He didn't have the run, came down the track a little bit with that wheel spin. Brandon Guerin going to try and take advantage of it. This time should be a lot more even. Guerin actually able to complete the pass right there, so Brandon Guerin up into the top 5 for the first time tonight. That is number 1 machine. So under 15 laps left in this one. Laps, of course, flying on by here in this one. Sub 22nd lap, so by the time a minute passes, drivers already completed 3 laps or so, so that's of course why laps flying on by. Mike Kelly here, one of the fastest cars on the speedway, but Johnny Barker pretty excited here. This one, as last time by Johnny Barker, about half a tenth better than Mike Kelly, so Barker could be a contender, especially if this race goes green to the end here. That by dead even for the cars in 1 and 2, so I say, we got the camera packs. Let's see what it looked like here in 1987 up here in the stands. We take a look here at the Turn 3 Racing fan cam here at North Wilkesboro. Johnny Barker here still putting pressure on our race leader, Mike Kelly. See Barker there, 222, very low on the racetrack, able to make up time in the corner. But you can see Mike Kelly able to kind of open up that steering wheel a little bit sooner. Now 43, she gets a good run there down the back straightaway. Let's see if that's the case here in 1 and 2. Johnny Barker driving it in there deep. Got a little bit loose, lost the front end of that race car just a little bit. But like I said, before that caution came out, we saw it between these two. Johnny Barker much more aggressive on corner entry, whereas Mike Kelly a lot easier looking, kind of more to roll the middle and then really focus on corner exit. It's really awesome to kind of watch it, see which one's working better for the drivers. I believe a few laps ago, Frank Zingen had a bit of a moment. That 62 machine big time sideways in 1 and 2. He was able to hang onto that race car. Excellent save there by Frank. We'll go another lap down here in this one. Stay way up out of the way of the field. I'll tell you what, Brandon Guerin wasn't done picking up and putting down other competitors, as Brandon Guerin was able to get around Dustin Goggins. So Guerin up to number 4. Quite a ways back though from Logan Cougar, about 2 seconds. So he's going to have to keep the pace turned on up a lot to try and catch that 80 machine. But we have seen here tonight Logan Cougar get big time loose a few times and even turn number 1. We're have to hope for another one of those mistakes. As there's one right there down the back straightaway. Logan Cougar's going to bounce it off the outside wall there. Garen's just going to have to hope for a few more of those mistakes as Cougar trying to run down the cars in front of him. Last time was faster than John Barker, so seems like a lot of the field in the high 19-second bracket, about 19.2s, 18.5s, 19.8s, 19.2s, and then about some 20.0s, so everyone right around that lap pace. And you know, you might hear, oh, drivers, you know, only a tenth or so faster. You know, that's barely any time. But you add that tenth up for, you know, about, oh, as heads up, Johnny Barker, big time loose off of turn number 2. Will lose the back end of the race car. Will somehow keep that car off the inside wall and keep it rolling. But Barker now falls back to P number 5. As I'm sure Mike Kelly was kind of sigh of relief there as he doesn't have now the 6 car putting a lot of pressure on the back bumper. Yeah, like I was saying, you know, oh, you might hear driver might have just, you know, only a tenth of time, but you add that up over, let's say, 40 laps. That's 4 seconds. That could be where Johnny Barker could come from P number 5 and try and track down Mike Kelly here. With the problem with Barker, he is running out of time. It's going to be pretty close here pretty soon to about 30 laps left in this one. So Logan Cougar starting to pick up the pace, not having Johnny Barker up in front of him. Can sniff that race lead once again, and Cougar trying to track down, put some pressure on Mike Kelly late in this one, as now Cougar within 2 car lengths of Kelly for this one. Before this battle heats on up here for the race lead, let's take a look here at the replay here off of turn number 2. Oh, as Mike Kelly got loose, and you know, especially as a racer, you're watching that car in front of you, and I'm sure with that car kind of bobbling, that kind of caused Johnny Barker to just lose that concentration just for that split second, and that back end just barely stepping out. I mean, ever so slightly, and that was enough, especially with these cars, with the horsepower they have and their characteristics of driving. You know, that's all it takes to really get these kind of, I guess, now considered O'Reilly series cars out of sorts. Third on back, you know, within 2 seconds of each other. Brandon Garrett holding on to P number 3, Johnny Barker trying to rebound after that big slide that he did not bring out as much. Dustin Coggin right there in P number 5. Steve Ritter, another one of those drivers, really good on the long run. I wonder if he really took care of that right front. Might be on strong here in these last 25 laps. Really interesting to watch here. Johnny Barker has closed on up to the back bumper of Brandon Guerin, so we'll see how this goes as Barker probably doesn't have the tires he hopes for, at least on the rear of that race car. We'll see what he can do to try and get around one car up there. Brandon Guerin definitely more comfortable, it seems like, in that second lane, especially there through 3 and 4, 1 and 2, as well as Brandon Guerin way up the racetrack, gonna put that race car right between the first and second hash mark. Give Johnny Barker the option to drive it in there to that inside if he wants to. That time, Guerin does a good job driving that car down to the bottom side. You'll definitely want to protect the bottom side, at least in 3 and 4, but 1 and 2, you can run anywhere on the racetrack as long as you've got pretty good center speed and drive off. Brandon Garrett might have a tough 25 laps here trying to hold off Johnny Barker, but we can see on the left side of our screen already with a countdown clock here. 24 circuits left in this one. Johnny Barker, Brandon Garrett putting on a good battle here for P number 3. Garrett will defend there very nicely into turn number 3. Barker will take a peek to the high side in 3 and 4. Now right on the back bumper in turn number 1. Frank Zingen will stay up out of the way. Nice job there. Always appreciate some respectful lap traffic here. Of course, we see that each and every week here with the 802 Bulls. I tell you what, Brandon Guerin has not made a mistake. Johnny Barker putting a ton of pressure on the one car. Brandon Guerin has yet to crack here. That's all you got to do, especially at a short track. You just run your race, keep your rhythm here. It puts a lot of frustration to that car, giving chase here to try and make a move. You know, they start getting aggressive, overdrive the race car, overheats the tires, and then that car in front, you know, can start to walk out of the way. As you kind of see Brandon Guerin doing just that. Guerin, for the first time in a while, over a 2-car length advantage over the 6 car of Johnny Barker. Inside now, 20 laps to go. It's going to be 19 here at the start finish line. Mike Kelly here leading the point over Logan Kruger. Right now, that battle for the race lead kind of going on off. As last time by Mike Kelly down half a tenth quicker than Logan Kruger. So Mike Kelly might be turning it back up here, trying to give himself that breather room late in the race here. I just got to check out the stats just to kind of see what we're looking at. You know, Mike Kelly, 8 starts coming into tonight with the Friday night 802 Busch Series League, and his stats are looking pretty impressive. Already of those 8 starts, 3 wins. That means there is about a 38% chance at the moment when Mike Kelly loads into a server, that 43 machine will visit victory lane. Also another impressive stat, of those 8 starts, 5 of them have finished inside the top 5, so then that leads to a mind-boggling right around 63% chance that with the 43 car loads in, if he's not winning the race, there's a 63% chance that the 43 machine will at least finish inside the top 5 when it's all said and done. So pretty wild stuff here. As it looks like Logan Kruger, at least here at the moment, gonna take about 9 points away from Cody Gibson. Remember, Gibson now P number 10, Logan Kruger in second, so that's an 8-point difference. Kruger also picked up a bonus 4-lap lead, so a 9-point difference here tonight. That could just leave 5-point difference here heading next week into, let me see, I believe Michigan. So very close points battle here as we get into the stages of this championship. And remember, on the Friday night side of things, season-long championship. So we'll factor in your good, your bad, your great races all together. And we'll see who comes out as the most well-rounded driver. And of course, on Sunday night, you won't want to miss it as the 802 Winston Cup Series have their regular season finale. At the conclusion of North Wilkesboro on Sunday night, we will set the 15-car playoff grid. We'll see who will be fighting for championship here in season number 6 of the Cup Series. This time by 2 open palms on top of the flag stand here. It is 10 laps to go, and look at this, folks. Logan Kruger back to the back bumper of Mike Kelly. Cougar starting to turn up the wick. He is driving this car in there very deep. Gonna say, you know what, we're gonna use up whatever tire we have left on this race car to try and get around the 43 machine. As we see Cougar trying to make this high side work here in 1 and 2 as well. 3 and 4 right behind them. Brandon Guerin has been able to drive on away from Johnny Barker. So Brandon Guerin right now our biggest mover. We could be chatting with Brandon at the end of this one if this race goes green to the end. No big mistake out of the 1 car. So best battle on the speedway here is this battle for the race lead, as Mike Kelly has taken a peek in the rearview mirror and saw Logan Cougar, move up the racetrack. The 43 machine has followed suit. Cougar big time moves right at the apex into turn number 1. That tells me that 80 machine might have had a little bit too much rear brake biased out in that race car as he was putting a lot of pressure on that brake pedal. That back tire started to walk on around. We've seen that a few times here tonight from the 80 machine. Able to rebound here, but now we see these race cars, man, really pushing the envelope. These guys now running to the outside wall here at North Wilkesboro. They're trying to use up every inch of racetrack, trying to see what they could make happen here in these last 5 laps. Logan Cougar gonna get a piece of the wall there through 3 and 4. That could maybe seal the deal for Mike Kelly, as Kelly now with about a 2-car length advantage over Cougar. We'll see what Logan can do here in his last 3.5 laps. He will probably have one more shot at the 43 machine. The question is, does maybe the 80 machine bait this 43 car up to the high side in 3 and 4? Maybe on the white flag lap, this Cougar, on the bottom of 3 and 4. See if he can get that car to turn and see if he can have a heads-up drag race here to the start finish line. Cougar, man, he is using this place like Darlington, leaning on the wall to get the car rotated, and he is right there back to the back bumper with popsicle sticks up in the air. We have under 2 laps left in this one. Man, oh man, it's anyone's race here as they will see the white flag here in this one more time around. What does Logan Cougar have in his back pocket to throw? Can Mike Kelly add yet another win here this season through 3 and 4 for the final time? Logan Cougar just gonna come up short as Mike Kelly will pick up the win here at North Wilkesboro. Logan Cougar will bring it home second. Brandon Guerin in third. Johnny Barker will bring it home fourth. And Dustin Coggin will round out our top 5 here tonight, folks. And don't go anywhere here. We, of course, have the post-race show right after this. We're going to let Mike Kelly here celebrate here on the front stretch of North Wilkesboro. And then after a quick break here in this one, we'll be chatting with our top 3 finishers in this one as we see the Hot Wheels 43 machine of Mike Kelly burning it on down here on the front stretch of North Wilkesboro Speedway. It will now make it win number 4 on the season. Tying Mike Kelly with Chad Coleman and Cody Gibson for the most wins in the inaugural 802 Busch Series season. As Mike Kelly here will bring it to a stop and some big time smoke right at the start finish line. So like I said before, folks, don't go anywhere. We will be right back after a quick commercial break for our post-race show here at the conclusion of race number 16 at North Wilkesboro Speedway.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
All right, folks, we are back here at North Wilkesboro Speedway with the sun setting in the background. We will be here chatting with our top three finisher. The first driver we'll be talking to here is our third place finisher, the one car of Brandon Guerin. Brandon, you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Yeah, got you, Brett. How we doing?
Man, we're doing pretty good. How are you feeling, my man, from going from no practice up on the podium here after 125 laps?
Feel pretty good. First run of the race didn't really. I was just talking to Mike and Logan about. I kind of messed up with the brake bias. I had it set way too low, down in the 50s. So that didn't help, and then kind of took that whole first run just trying to figure out how to drive it with it being so much rear brake in the car, and kind of figured it out for the second run. And late in that run, Logan and Mike were really running each other hard, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gaining about 2-3 tenths a lap here," and then I just cooked it one lap and figured from there we just ride it out and try to come home on the podium at least.
Yeah, and that you're able to do, when it's all said and done, biggest mover of the race up 5 positions. And, it wasn't a cakewalk either for you because at it seemed like 10 or 15 laps, man, you had Johnny Barker putting a lot of pressure on you as well.
Yeah, me and Johnny had a good little battle there, and it seemed like if somebody slipped the tire, I would stretch it out from him, or he would slip the tire, I would stretch it out. Then I would slip it, he would catch back up. So good little battle there between me and Johnny, and yes, +5. Another good points night, kind of gain on pretty much everybody but Logan. So yeah, I'm happy with it. I like Wilkesboro, and to come away with a, like I said, like a podium is it's a good finish.
Yeah, that it is. A pretty decent run last time we were out. A top 10 finish for you at Phoenix. Top 3 here tonight. Now we switch things up, of course, next week. Head to the 2-mile big track of Michigan. How you feeling about that place as well?
Um, Feeling pretty good. The bulk half of the next, well, basically the remainder of the season's all mile and a half, bigger track. So looking forward to not having to use the brakes as much and just kind of letting the car do the work, as they say. So yeah, I feel good about Michigan. Wide spread out track, be able to get to run the fence there a little bit. So that's fun. And yeah, it's good to come out of the break and try to get a little momentum here. See if we can maybe catch Cody for this championship, but it'll be a battle. I mean, the three guys in front of me have been all really consistent all year, so it ain't gonna be easy, but I'm up for the challenge.
Yeah, and I think, we have about, I want to say 8 races. You're about 50 points back. We've seen bigger comebacks here. with other series and whatnot, and especially the way Cody Gibson's luck, it seems like, has been. I mean, anyone could walk away with this championship when it's all said and done.
Exactly. It's racing. It's a momentum driven sport. But there's also a lot of luck involved, and like you mentioned, Cody had a lot of luck in the beginning of the year, but he's kind of hit a rough patch here in the middle part of the season. So hopefully I can steal some of that luck, and hopefully we can start reeling off some really good runs here. So this is a good way to get that started.
Yeah, that it is a great night for you here tonight, Brandon. Able to walk away with a P number 3, so congrats on that. And you, my man, we will talk to you again here in the near future. Always great chatting with you. But before we let you go, I'm sure there's a lot of people you got to thank, whether sponsors on the car, teammates, or anyone else here you like to give a shout out, maybe tuning into the broadcast.
Yep, as always, we shout it out to the kids first, Bryson and Brody, and then we'll shout out the penny stackers, Frank and Dustin. Always fun to chat with them during the race. A lot of fun. Keeps it lighthearted. We'll shout out the sponsors on the car. I think we got the Smirnoff car tonight. We also have Barstool in the car, Red Bull, and yeah, shout you out, shout Rob out, shout out the whole admin team, shout out BG Graphics. Even though it's not on my car, might as well shout them out. And yeah, let's go on the home stretch and try to at least knock some points off these other guys and see if we can run for this championship.
Yep, for sure, man. It's going to be an exciting stretch here late in this one to see how this will all shake on out. But Brandon, always a great time chatting with you, my man. Congrats up here on the podium, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you again here in the near future.
Yeah, hopefully we're chatting to you on Sunday too, Brett.
Alrighty, for sure, man. You take care, and we'll catch you on Sunday.
Yeah, have a good one, Brett.
Alrighty, awesome stuff. That was our third place finisher in the one machine, Brandon Guerin. Now we'll head on up and chat with our runner up finisher here tonight. It is the 80 machine of Logan Cougar. Logan, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
I sure do.
Alrighty, man. First and foremost, how we feeling about kind of an up and down night here at North Wilkesboro?
Oh, it was an amazing night. The first run I was able to get the lead, and then I choked when I had too little brake bias into it and spun. Well, first time I was able to catch it, and then the second time I spun and brought the caution out, the one and only one that we had all night. And I made an adjustment during that caution, cranked it a percentage back on the brake bias, and that helped me for the run there to the checkers. I wasn't nearly, I was still pretty loose on entry, but I could catch it a lot more. I was doing some other tricks too, giving it a tad bit of clutch on entry just to help with my rear security, doing a little bit of a trick I learned from Shane Van Ginsberg and watching him on the road courses. But it worked pretty good there. That last run, I almost had Mike. If I could have got to the rear bumper, I might have given him a tap, but I didn't want to do nothing too crazy there.
Yeah, I don't blame you. You're definitely putting a lot of pressure there on Mike Kelly late in this one. And yeah, Logan, it seemed like for sure you were one of, if not the driver that had the most rear brake bias in this race car. It seemed like a lot of times than not, that car a little bit yawed out on entry. And especially once you start moving to that high side, man, that thing seemed like it was just four-wheel drifting all the way up to the wall. And then once it kind of got set, you're back on the throttle there. And late in that one, you start picking up a lot of speed on that top side. That was awesome to see.
Yeah, it was, I tell you, loose is fast. And I've always, and even the sub 500 guys will tell you, I've complained about the setups of these cars, how tight they are. And I've been begging them to crank that rear end out as much as you can. And, it may look like Kyle Larson's out there driving it, but I was quick tonight, that's for sure.
Yeah, that you were able to, restart in the top three. Like you said, lead some laps, get those all important bonus points, because I think now leaving tonight with about 8 races left in this one, Logan, you're going to be 5 points back from leading this championship.
Yeah, I mean, that's what also I came into the night thinking about, was the championship being that close to it. And, one earlier this year at Kentucky, I want to get another one tonight, and felt like this was my opportunity to get it done, and almost had it. If I would have won this race tonight, I think I would have been the points leader leaving, so that would have been cool. But we're getting down to the end of it, and so far Cody's had some issues the last 3 or 4 weeks. So it seems like we've really ate into that gap, and if I can get another win or two, I think I'll have the points lead.
Yeah, that you have, especially I want to say even the last, month or so, you have cut that lead down significantly. Like I said, leaving here tonight going to be about a 5 point difference. And as well, this last kind of third of the schedule, a lot of mile and a half, 2 mile racetracks. How do you feel about those places? Because I think this championship here this season will come down to who can run the best on those.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I've ran pretty well this year on the mile and a half, and 2 miles also. But the main one that I'm really happy about is Michigan next week. I run really strong there, so I think that's a place I could get another win. But tonight, I was quick tonight, and these short tracks, I'm usually always a contender. That tends to be the ones where I'm really, really quick. It's the short tracks. So, um, we'll see. I know there's, I think, a couple short tracks left on the schedule, but I know it's a lot of mile and a halfs, 2 miles too. So I think I can get another win or two before the year's out.
Yeah, I mean, we even saw that short track prowess, the last time we all raced together on the Friday night, that being at Phoenix Raceway. You were able, starting 15th, was able to end up in the top five there with, of course, some really good drivers as well.
Yeah, I mean, Phoenix was definitely good to me here tonight at North Wilkesboro. Was really good. Phoenix was interesting because you had obviously the downshifting and stuff, but the good news is at Phoenix and here I tended to have really good long run pace, so that's what I think really made the difference tonight at Phoenix.
Yeah, I would agree. Tonight was about what kind of pace you could run for, those 60 lap stints here in this one. And Logan, you had it pretty figured out, able to finish up on the podium, come in runner up when it's all said and done. And I got to ask, I'm always intrigued with it, especially, points racing. What's your kind of mindset for these last 8 races? How do you battle the kind of finishing the best you can, picking up those checkered flags as well as keeping the race car underneath you to these checkered flags, because we know it's all about the points payout comes to, where you finish in the race when it's all said and done.
I'm only concerned with finding out where victory lane is at these places.
Alrighty, awesome. I love it. So going for broke, and you'll let the points shake out to whatever they shake out to, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's going to help my point situation out the more I end up in victory lane. So that's what I'm more concerned about here. These next 8 races to go, and getting that points lead. Obviously, I don't want to do nothing too crazy to jeopardize it. But like tonight, I might have been maybe slightly more aggressive if maybe it wasn't in the points battle. But definitely, I think it was something there for sure.
Yeah, that it was. And I want to congratulate you again on the runner up finish, Logan. It's going to be exciting here, kind of final run to the end of this inaugural season here with the Busch Series. And before we let you go, man, I'm going to go hand over the mic to you and have you thank who you got to thank, whether teammates, sponsors, or maybe anyone watching at home on the broadcast as well.
Yeah, I just want to shout out all the guys from 802 put this league on. My sponsor obviously is Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate Platinum Properties. So definitely hope that thing got a good view tonight. I'm a realtor for them. So anybody looking to buy a house on the Alabama Gulf Coast, that's who you need to call is me. Uh, and thank Mike for running me pretty clean tonight. We had a really good battle throughout the whole race. There was, I think, the 6 car. I forget who was driving that one, but he was up there too and had a good night and was racing us all really good. So it was a really good night. Just shout out to all those people.
Alrighty, awesome stuff, Logan. Once again, congrats on the runner-up finish, and you, my man, take care. We'll catch you next Friday night, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you again here in the near future.
Yep, thank you.
Alrighty, awesome stuff. That was our runner-up finisher in the 80 machine, Logan Cougar. Now we'll head down to Victory Lane and talk to the man of the hour. It is the driver of the 43 machine. It is Mike Kelly. Mike, you got a copy?
Brett the Jet, happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you, man. And I tell you what, it's got to be a pretty good feeling Friday for you down here in Victory Lane after 125 laps. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, it was nice to get back on the track and like I told you last time we talked, I believe I really was looking forward to this race, and of course would have liked to have seen more cars to give us some action and break up the monotony of running around lap after lap, getting some lap cars and stuff like that. Maybe a few more yellows and some more strategy, but the car was really hooked up, and I didn't get everything out of it in qualifying that I could have, but still started up front and caught him sleeping on the start there a little bit. I think he was texting or taking a little nap, so I was able to go right to the front there at the start and dominate for a while. And then I think I might have ran it too hard messing with Logan there for that first run. And old Barker, he snuck up on us there, and I couldn't keep up with them. After I let him go, originally because they were both running. At that point, they were running a little harder than I wanted to, so let him go. But got back around Logan, and then Robert just took off and left us. So I was actually just getting ready to pit, which would have been a typical mistake for me when that yellow came out, because that would have really hosed my race. So got lucky there that the yellow came out before I pitted, and didn't take much fuel, just put enough fuel in it to get to the end because it was so loose. And I thought that would probably help, and put 4 good years on her, and got out of the pits first because of my pit stall, and was never able to get past after that. So Robert started putting the heat on me, and I thought, well, obviously he saved the tires better than I did that first run, and it seemed like he wanted the lead there. So I decided, in my deceptive little mind, that I was going to try to run him out a little harder and make him burn him up, and I think it worked. But then Logan caught us again at the end, and the bottom just went away, man. And he figured it out a little sooner than I did and caught up to me. And of course, you want to block his line, but out of necessity, I had to do it as well because the bottom went away. And so I moved up into where he was running and evened us out again, and he couldn't make any runs on me at that point. And we were both pretty used up, and boy, I was sweating. I'll tell you, that was a heck of a race, and great job to Logan for keeping the heat on for that full run there.
Yeah, I tell you what, it was an exciting race. It seemed like for the lead all race long, it seemed like you, Logan, and Johnny always in a battle. It seemed like whether it was the 43.6 or the 80 machine, all right there in contention for the lead. I mean, all three of you guys led some laps here tonight, but yeah, like you're saying, Mike, you're able to get the race lead off of pit road, and from there, kind of set the pace here. And I found it really interesting, especially looking at your line and how you're running versus Johnny. I mean, Johnny would make up so much time on corner entry where it seemed like you really focused on middle of the corner speed and that drive off.
Yeah, Johnny. I said Robert. Sorry about that, Johnny. Yeah, definitely. I've always been, I don't know, probably just from driving, dry, slick dirt, but easy in and hard off. So we were definitely running two distinct lines, and he'd charge up on me through the middle of the corner, but I was lifting it about the flag stand and just really rolling it in, getting on the bottom, and then hitting the gas because once you got it straightened out, it wasn't so loose. But if you charged it in hard and tried to get back on the gas while you were kind of still turning, it was no bueno. So I was just taking it easy. I think it helped, saving the tires on the longer run too. Just rolling it in, getting it pointed straight, and getting on the gas, and I could really pull them off the corner while they were still trying to turn the car and kind of lighten them up a little bit. So I figured as long as I could keep making them do that, there was no way they're ever going to be able to pass me because you had to get up under somebody coming up off the corner and take their line away to really complete a pass here.
Yeah, and that was definitely the case here tonight. And Mike, you did a great job at defending that, especially late in that one. Like you said, Logan started figuring out that top side. In this place, it's really tough to do to start changing lines after, you get into such a rhythm running the bottom. Then you got to go to the top side, change some brake bias because we saw it quite a few times, especially Logan. Man, he would have a lot of rear brake bias in that thing to get that car to rotate on entry. And that's always a very fine line to do, especially at this place.
Yeah, we were talking about that. I was way up there. I had like 63.5%, and they were down in the 50s. So you didn't really need the brake. That's what you want, the rear brake, is to get the car to rotate. But it was pretty good at rotating itself. So I figured that out in practice. It didn't need a lot of rear brake because it goes into that four-wheel slide, and your momentum's just gone. And if someone gets through the corner good, they're going to make up. They're either going to pass you or make up. You can make up a good 2 or 3 car lengths. Just you get that tire. You go into a four-wheel drift just one time, and the tires get super angry, and it takes quite a bit to recover. And towards the end of that first run, it wasn't recovering at all. So you definitely had to baby the tires, but it was hard to do because we were running so hard. I mean, every single one of us had a 20, the top four, we all had 27s, in qualifying. So I knew then it was going to be a tire game to a certain degree because everybody was running so close on time.
Yeah, definitely. It was awesome to see the kind of cat and mouse game that all you drivers put on here tonight. And I'm a big time stats guy, Mike. I always love to look at the stats and see kind of how we're looking. And actually, here tonight with this win, it makes your 4th career win here on Friday night, and actually ties you for the most wins on the season now with Chad Coleman and Cody Gibson with 4 apiece.
Cool. What were those wins? Just out of curiosity, because I could only find 3, and I was wondering if there was a. Is that counting the stats from my Cup Series win? Just
Nope. So this is just the Busch series. So I'll go through, try and re-find them really quick. So of course we had Darlington.
If you don't have it handy, yeah.
We had Darlington, Texas, and I want to say it was earlier, like one of your first starts that maybe had the other. Yeah, actually,
well, cool.
Yeah, where is that third?
I couldn't. I could, like I said, not to be argumentative. I was just wondering if I was missing something in the stats because I couldn't figure out which one it was. I thought I just had those 3, but either way, I'm happy with that and glad to get the wins. It's always fun to get the wins. I run in another. Well, Sim 500, of course, I've ran with for a long time as we've discussed, and I've got 1,000 starts there and like 40 wins. So, they're few and far between. But the competition is what it's all about, and I'm here for fun. And if I can knock off some wins, that just puts the cherry on top of the sundae.
Yeah, for sure, man. It always is a good night to be down in victory lane, add another win to the stat column. And yeah, Mike, next week we kind of take a break from the short tracks, head to a bunch of, 1.5 mile, 2 mile tracks. Next week is Michigan. How you feeling about that place?
Michigan's a blast to race. I hope we'll get, I don't know if it was just people doing stuff tonight or they don't like this track. It's a challenging track, and some people may not even have it. So North Wilkesboro tends to, kill the field a little bit, but a lot of people like Michigan, and it's kind of like a Talladega type track, and hopefully we'll have a big field, and I'm looking forward to a great race there. I love racing in the Irish Hills.
Yeah, that place is always a good one. Always puts on some good racing. So, Mike, once again, congrats on the win here tonight at North Wilkesboro. But before we let you go and continue celebrating down in Victory Lane, we, of course, got to hand over the mic to you and have you thank who you got to thank, whether sponsors, teammates, or anyone else you'd like to give a shout out to on the broadcast here.
Of course, I always thank the broadcaster. So, Turn 3 Racing Network and you, Brett. These are fun to go back and watch. Appreciate you giving up Friday nights to come out and do this and have fun with us. All the sponsors, especially BG Graphix. Oop, faux pas, screwing up the sponsors. But yeah, BG Graphix and the iRacing or 802 iRacing League podcast is fun. I was on that last week. So thanks to those guys for putting that on. And then the Smoking Hot Wife for letting me do this, especially on Friday nights. Appreciate that. Shout out to the racers tonight for putting on a good race. And I got to thank my little dog, Izzy, or my wife gets mad at me.
Alrighty, awesome stuff, Mike. Well, you take care. Enjoy the rest of your Friday night, and we'll catch you for sure in the near future. And I'm sure talking to you again here as we have now, I think, just 8 races left to go.
Thanks, Brett. Always appreciate it. Have a great weekend, man.
Alrighty, awesome stuff. That was our race winner, Mike Kelly, down here in Victory Lane at North Wilkesboro. So let's go run through tonight's race results and get things wrapped on up here from North Wilkesboro. So the race results will look like the following. Mike Kelly picking up that win here tonight. Logan Cougar closes in that points championship here even more with a runner-up finish. Brandon Guerin, the biggest mover of the race, will round out that podium. Johnny Barker was a contender for the win here tonight. Will end up P number 4, and Dustin Coggins led the field to the green flag. Will round out the top 5. Steve Ritter will finish in 6th. George Ledsma will come in 7th. 8th going to Frank Zingen. 9th is Rob Lowe, Cody Gibson, our points leader. Another rough night here tonight. We'll finish in 10th. And Ron Holyfield not making the call here in this one. So that'll do it here tonight. Be sure to tune in next week as we head to Michigan. Or if you got Sunday free, be sure to tune into the 802 Cup Series regular season finale at North Wilkesboro. That one will be a good one there. And it comes to a close battle between Frank Zingen and Chris Proger for that final and 15th spot there in points. So that will do it here tonight. Thanks again here to all the live viewers as well as the replay viewers. We appreciate each and every one of you guys. I've been Brett the Jet in the booth with Turn 3 Racing Network. Turn 3 Racing Network also partnered on up with Premier Setup Shops. You can find out more about them with the link in the description. I'll take you on over to their sites, and they have subscriptions for setups, single setups, as well as setups even for NASCAR 25. We also got to thank BG Graphix, Riptide Radio, GStone Motorsports, as well as Stone, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram as the sponsors and partners here at the 802 Busch Series. So that'll do it here tonight. Everyone take care, stay safe, have a great weekend, and we'll catch you in 1 week's time. And I've been Brett the Jet in the booth, and I just flew by you. Have a good one.
Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one,